They love you. They love you. Look, White Lotus. Your character doesn't jerk off his brother, but he is a great mystery. How did you prepare for Jim Hollinger, this character?
The first thing I did when they offered me the part was I turned it down.
Great. That's what I've been doing wrong this whole time in showbiz.
No, I just finished a film called Eugene the Marine that was tons of martial arts and dancing and shit like that. And it was basically about, ageism and how you deal with it when you're old and still have a lot left in the tank.
Okay.
And they sent me a description of this old guy with a cane, and I thought, that, I don't know.
Right.
But I watched the show. So that night, Carol, my wife, and I watched the show, and inside probably 15 minutes, I was sucked right into it. I thought, you know, I think I want to be a part of this deal.
Yeah.
So I talked to Mike the next morning. He said, you play a guy who's lived in Thailand straight for 50 years, off and on for 60 years, and has amassed a fortune. How do you think he got it? And I know Thailand pretty well, so I just started doing that and looking into it. For me, the heavy lifting and the fun of acting is pretending that I'm getting ready to do the part. So I thought years ago, Marlon Brando taught me that every language has a rhythm in every country. Yeah. He went back and forth between German and Japanese without changing the pronunciation of words, just changing the rhythm, and all of a sudden he was German, then he was Japanese, and back and forth. Whoa. So I thought, how do I find the rhythm of Thailand? Yeah. I know, I'll start at the sort of white belt, bottom rung, learning something called krabi krabang, which is 2 short swords, martial arts, and something called...
So now you got weapons out.
There you go.
To get ready for your acting role.
I always do that.
And he does... I haven't seen all of the... I mean, I don't know what's coming, but Jim Hollinger, the character, is not a sword fighter.
No.
So why are you using swords to get ready for the acting?
Because I figured...
Is this why I haven't booked an audition?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I just figured that in learning the traditional martial arts of where you're going, you'll start to learn the rhythm of the place. It's just a way of me making excuses to have fun and learn something.
I love that. That's sweet. He's a mysterious character. We don't know if he killed the dad, if he's Walton Goggins' dad. What can you tell us? Or are you acting right now by not giving it away?
I can tell you, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All of your characters have an intensity, and I love them. I mean, the right stuff. Look at that. Urban cowboy. Look at that, huh? Look at that. The Hunt for Red October. I get the sense that you have an intensity off screen as well in your life. Is that true?
Nah.
No? I mean, martial arts with knives, you've already told us. Used to race motorcycles, open water spearfish, ice climbing, skydiving. What is it about this stuff? Is acting just the safest thing you do?
The first time I ever jumped out, I was airborne in the service, but it was static line jump. So the first time I ever freefall, did skydive, was with a 4-time world champion up in Idaho. And we took the doors off a Cessna, went up, got out in the strut, made the jump. When I hit the ground, he came down after me. He ran up to me. He said, quick, without thinking, what's the most fun you've ever had in your life with your clothes on? And I said, opening night Off-Broadway. But I love this. I want to do it again. And we did 3 more jumps that afternoon, but driving back to catch him, he said, your first instinct was opening night Off-Broadway. And I said, that's way scarier to me than if I jump out of a plane and everything goes south, it'll be over like that.
Right.
Opening night for me in any theater, but especially Off-Broadway, when you're as close to the front row as I am to you right now, I always throw up in the afternoon.
Yeah.
15 minutes before I go on stage, I say, why the am I doing this? I get paid more than 10 minutes of doing a TV show.
Right.
And then maybe 30 seconds before I go on stage, the real truth is I'm a huge phony. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And tonight, the whole house of cards is going to fall in front of all those people out there. They're going to find out what I've always secretly expected.
It's that challenge and that intensity that makes you feel alive. I just figured it out, man.
I think you're right.
I think I'm right, right? You know, we're not the same generation, and I love talking to men of a generation older than me. So I have a few questions for you just to help me, okay? One, I love riding motorcycles, but I have kids now, and my wife is like, got to stop riding motorcycles. And I said, Scott, how do I have this conversation with my wife that this is when I feel alive, when I'm driving motorcycles? What do I say to her? Tell me right now. Go.
I'm going to do all of my riding on tracks from now on.
Oh, so now I gotta go motorcycle track.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna hear what she says, and then we'll have to bring it back, and we'll tell you what she... Is it safer on a track? I guess it would be safer, because I'm not gonna hit a deer or a car or whatever. Yeah.
The worst place to be, for real, is traffic.
Right. Oh, shit, I think that secures it for me. You live in Idaho.
Yeah.
Not a lot of actors live in Idaho, and you've lived there for a long time.
Yeah, 45 years.
How has that influenced your work? Was it important for you to not be in LA or New York? I'm from Michigan. I love when people in show business live somewhere else. I love that.
Whatever minor talent I have, I get from stealing behavior from people.
Okay.
I can see real behavior in a truck stop in Idaho.
Right.
In LA, everybody is a slash.
Right.
You know, I'm a gas station attendant / screenwriter.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a waitress / TV star.
Yeah.
There's nothing to steal from those people.
Yeah.
Because they've slashed it to pieces.
Yeah. That's a great answer. I love that. Lastly, in the White Lotus, there's a spectrum of men with issues that are complex. They're seeking revenge. They have depression.
Yeah.
And I feel men right now are struggling. There's the male friendship recession. Depression rates are high. This part isn't really funny. Suicide rates are high. I'm very curious. I love the masculinity you portray, but what are your thoughts on men today? What can we steal? What can we learn from an older generation that would help us?
Never pay a tariff.
Okay. All right. We'll take that for whatever it means. The season finale of White Lotus airs Sunday on HBO and Max. Scott Glenn.